Hello and welcome back. My name is Jack B. And as always, thank you for viewing my video. No matter how much mayhem is created, one can look through the debris of the chaos and observe Trump taking care of Putin again. Although I am not sure if Trump is fully aware of all the consequences and nuances of our actions in the Iran war. We will return to this in a bit. Standing back and looking at Trump's actions, it appears as though he is leading the charge of the Light Brigade. No matter how epic or heroic the poem is, we all know how it turned out for the soldiers of the brigade. I suspect Israel pointed out and convinced Trump that now is the perfect time to invade Iran for each of their own reasons. I also believe Iran was never going to give up nuclear development. They would just draw out negotiations for years or even decades. Iran and its proxies have continuously attacked U.S. interests, killed American soldiers and civilians for over 47 years. They keep coming back to inflict pain, suffering, and hardship. Imagine what they would do if they had a nuclear ICBM. I suspect the time for retribution is now. The regime has used hatred toward the U.S. and Israel for years as a unifying agent to hold the government and people together. Their slogan, "Death to America," says it all. There would never be a treaty with the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Iran's interests were to unify and control the Middle East and recreate the Persian Empire and bring it to its former glory. In addition to getting rid of the U.S. and Israel, the U.S. is exhausting its advanced munitions at an extraordinary rate. The U.S. should be replacing the spent munitions faster than using them. They may have enough to cover the Iran war, but that's about all. Although Iran isn't done yet, they're good at asymmetrical warfare. Drones may be their silver bullets. The Ukraine has become somewhat of the leader, even over the U.S., in the arena of repelling drones. We should work with them on this topic, but I am not sure someone's ego would allow that to occur, since that person has done nothing but disparage Ukraine's people and war abilities. They don't have the cards, so it's said. Since the war began on February 28, 2026, Iran has launched approximately 2,000 drones. Open source estimates suggest Iran possesses a massive arsenal of 70,000 to 80,000 drones. Intelligence indicates they may also have over 10,000 Shahed series kamikaze drones in storage. Iran can rapidly produce roughly 400 of the Shahed series drones per day. This can allow Iran to maintain long-term and large-scale attacks across the region. Iran may be able to conduct the war effort solely using drones. The U.S. can disrupt, but not entirely halt, Iran's drone supply chain through sanctions. They can target suppliers in countries like Turkey and the UAE. They can also destroy major production facilities. Despite these efforts, Iran has the ability to assemble drones using commercial, off-the-shelf components in garages, which makes it difficult to entirely stop production. These hobby drones can cause serious damage to U.S. assets anywhere in the world. Sleeper cells can make efficient use of them. Iran has control of the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's fertilizer comes through the strait, as well as 20 to 30% of the world's oil. Both of these commodities will have near-term and long-term effects on the economy, as well as collateral effects on other products. Clearing mines and keeping the Strait of Hormuz open for free passage of ships will be a difficult operation. Iran, to varying degrees, is connected to Russia, the CCP, and North Korea. These allies can keep feeding Iran the logistical components it needs to continue to wage war. Each ally has different products to provide. There are three tactics that Iran can employ to keep the war going indefinitely. Number one, they can keep making and deploying drones from anywhere in the world. Number two, they can keep cyber warfare going from anywhere in the world. Number three, they can engage their proxies all over the world. While U.S. citizens are facing increased gas prices, Trump is lifting the sanctions off Russia so that India can get Russian oil. That is good for India. The other side of the coin is the lifting of the Russian oil sanctions will provide Russia with unexpected revenue. This added revenue will allow Russia to continue to attack and suppress Ukraine. I hope Putin thanks Trump. Meanwhile, as of March 2026, evidence indicates that Russia is assisting Iran in its conflict with the U.S. and Israel by providing both technical support and actionable intelligence to assist in targeting U.S. forces. This is happening alongside previous deliveries of conventional weapons. Russia is sharing satellite imagery to help Iran locate and strike highly sensitive command and control centers, U.S. ships, aircraft, and bases, which will result in the killing of American military personnel. They are also directing Iran on how to evade the U.S. detection systems and what locations to target to inflict maximum damage. Russia is also assisting Iran in what targets to attack using cyber warfare techniques. Russia has had years of using drones and evading Ukraine detection systems. Why is Trump still being buddy-buddy with Putin? The CCP is watching, counting, and taking notes. They have already stated they intend to acquire Taiwan in 2027 to bring Taiwan further under the CCP umbrella. That time is just around the corner. The U.S. maintains a policy of strategic ambiguity regarding whether it would directly intervene militarily if the CCP invades Taiwan. While not legally bound to defend Taiwan, the U.S. is committed by the Taiwan Relations Act to provide the means for Taiwan to defend itself and to maintain the capacity to resist. The CCP invasion of Taiwan would pose an existential threat to Japan. Japan would mobilize its military to support U.S. forces. They would also face severe economic disruption. Japan would likely treat the conflict as a survival-threatening situation, triggering a security crisis that could see its southwestern islands become a battlefield or target for Chinese coercion. There have been multiple meetings with the tech giants of Silicon Valley during the Biden administration, as well as during the Trump administration, concerning a CCP invasion of Taiwan. Taiwan supplies over 60% of the world's semiconductors and 90% of advanced chips. A CCP invasion would cause massive disruptions in technology, automotive, and defense sectors. This would create an economic crisis exceeding the 2008 financial crisis. This would lead to severe product shortages and major manufacturing shutdowns due to supply chain disruptions. A CCP invasion of Taiwan would likely trigger a global economic crisis, causing a 5 to 10% contraction in U.S. GDP and a potential 40% drop in the S&P 500, according to Bloomberg Economics Analysis and other reports. It would be more devastating to the U.S. economy than the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Tech giants are taking significant, multifaceted actions to mitigate the risks of a potential CCP invasion of Taiwan. These efforts range from diversifying manufacturing and supply chains to developing technical kill switches for critical infrastructure. Action number 1, geographic diversification of manufacturing. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, is building a multi-billion-dollar multi-facility plant in Arizona. They plan to expand to 3-nanometer technology, which supports the CHIPS and Science Act. TSMC is also diversifying by building factories in Japan and Germany to reduce reliance on the island's infrastructure. U.S. companies such as Apple, Amazon, and Google are diversifying their supply chains to move production away from not just China, but also to reduce dependency on Taiwan-based manufacturing. Action number 2, securing critical technology and data. ASML, a key supplier of extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, along with TSMC, possesses the capability to use a kill switch to remotely disable these advanced chip-making machines in the event of an invasion, ensuring the technology does not fall into Chinese hands. Companies are increasingly moving data out of physical, on-site data centers in potential conflict zones to safer Western cloud servers. Action number 3, supply chain and operational security. Companies are moving from just-in-time to just-in-case logistics. They are stockpiling critical, high-end components to ensure operations can continue for months during a potential blockade. Major firms are mapping their supplier ecosystems to identify and replace high-risk, Taiwan-dependent components. The U.S. and its allies are exploring talent safe havens to relocate, house, and employ essential Taiwanese engineers. Action number 4, strategic investment and partnerships. Tech giants are participating in U.S.-led initiatives to secure supply chains for technologies vital to AI. Investment in alternative non-Chinese and non-Taiwanese satellite and space launch providers, such as SpaceX, is being encouraged to reduce reliance on vulnerable infrastructure. While these actions are significant, experts note that reducing reliance on Taiwan's advanced chip technology will take years to fully implement. This makes Taiwan an indispensable link for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, we have lived through the initial invasion of Venezuela, but I am not convinced the repercussions of that move have even started. A bit closer to home, Trump is now planting mental seeds about Cuba. Trump is good about being ambiguous and maintaining plausible deniability. The sticky part with Cuba is the fact that the CCP had previously entered into a contract with Cuba that allows the CCP to build and maintain a high-tech secure communication center on their island. I'm not sure how this issue will figure into Trump's algorithm. The annexations of Greenland and Canada may be on the shelf for now, but it is still on the horizon. We will have to watch and see how these annexations progress. It's more of, hold on for the ride. I am surprised Trump hasn't come up with the term, the United Western Hemisphere of America, for his realm. The name Trump's World Fair at Trump Plaza has already been used for his failed casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I believe the major Trump casinos were the Trump Plaza, the Trump Taj Mahal, and Trump Marina, formerly Trump Castle. All are failed. As a side note, In February 2026, a New York Times report revealed that internal Binance investigators discovered approximately $1.7 billion in cryptocurrency flowed to Iranian-linked entities. Some are associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, which has been designated a terrorist group. The transactions occurred over a period of approximately 2 years. It involved a Binance vendor called Blessed Trust. The internal employees who flagged these transactions to senior management were reportedly suspended or fired. Senator Richard Blumenthal opened an inquiry into these findings in February 2026, demanding records on the transactions and the treatment of compliance staff. Binance previously pleaded guilty to U.S. anti-money laundering violations in 2023. They paid a $4.3 billion fine, as noted in Wikipedia. The company has generally stated it detects and reports suspicious activity, noted in a Times article. But then, why did they fire or suspend the employees who reported it? On another note, which is positive, is that the Secretary of Homeland Security is no more. Her replacement, Senator Markwayne Mullin, might be a good replacement. We shall see. Well, these are my thoughts for today. And again, whether you agree or disagree, please verify the information presented. Thank you. And until next time, take care and be safe.
Ah. Me na do it.
Ooh.